Welcome back, students. The topic for today's discussion is problems on text files. That is line-based problems we are going to see. So the first problem is write a method in Python to read the content from a text file line by line and display them on the screen. This is what the first problem is. We are moving on to a editor. I have copied the particular program. I'm giving it in triple quotes. Display them on the screen. So reading the content of a text file line by line. Here my content of the text file is this one. We are going to read line by line. They are asking us to define a method. Def read line by line. This is what the method I'm going to use. So I have to open the file now. So in order to open the file with open, the file name I'm going to use is sample text.txt as R file. That is, since I'm reading the particular file, I'm using the handler as R file. You have been asked to print line by line. So I'm using a word data is equal to R file dot. You do have a method called as read lines. It reads the entire contents and the data is getting stored in the variable called as data. So I'm using a for loop for line in data. You are going to go row by row. For line in data, print line. This is what the program is. In order to call this one, the function name is a read line by line. This is what the function call is. Let me save the program, execute it. I'm giving the name as text file problem1.py. So I have saved it. Let me run this program. See here, I had 4 lines, not 4 lines or 5 lines. 2, 3. It has only 4 lines. All the 4 lines has been printed. Now you can see there is a gap between each and every line. In order to suppress that one, if I give end equal to a space now, you will not be seeing that particular empty spaces which you saw previously. Right? This is what the first program. You are defining a function. So with opening or opening the file as R file, you are using a method called as a read line. It reads the entire content. The data is getting stored in data. Since I'm going to traverse row by row, I am using a for loop for line in data. I am printing the line. I am suppressing the blank spaces. I am just calling the particular function. Now moving on to the second problem. Write a method in Python to read the content of a text file line by line and display them on the screen with line numbers. This is what they are giving, with the line numbers. So within triple quotes, I am pasting the particular problem. The problem here is So along with the line number, they are asking us to print. I am just copying the previous program. Why? Because I will be making a little bit of modification there. So here, this prints the data, but what they are asking, they are asking us to print the line number also. In order to print the line number, I am using a variable called as count equal to 0. Once I am reading the line, for line in data, data fetches the first line and line will be having one single line. If I have read that one, I am incrementing the count. Now in the print statement, I am using the counter to distinguish this one. I am leaving a little bit space so that that particular line gets printed. To save this one, I am giving the file name as text file prob02. That is problem 2. The only changes which I have made is I have introduced a variable called as count. Whenever I am reading a line, I have incremented the count. I am just printing the count value along with the line which is getting displayed. Let me save this one. Let me run the program. So here you are able to see I had 4 lines. If you want to see the sample, now here you are having only 4 lines. As you are having 4 lines here, the data is getting displayed there. So this is what the second problem is. Let us move on to the third problem. Write a function in Python to count and display the number of lines starting with an alphabet A present in a text file. So this is my third problem. To count and display the number of lines starting with this particular character. Anyhow, this is also line based. The lines starting character should be A. Let us take the first problem itself. We will just copy it. What is the modification which I am going to use here? Sorry, it has not been copied. Moving there. So this is, I have copied. Now let me try to save it as text file prob03. That is problem 3. Excuse me. So here I want to print only those lines that are starting with A. Write a function in Python to count and display the number of lines. So they want the count. They don't want to print the line. They want how many lines are starting with A. How many lines are starting with A? This is what they want to display. In order to do that one, I am using the variable called as count equal to 0. If inside the for loop, I am trying to use if line 0th character is double equal to capital A, then I am trying to increment the count value. I am trying to increment the count value. Outside the for loop, I am trying to use the number of lines starting, spelling mistake, starting with A is equal to, you are trying to print the count value. You are trying to print the count value. I have not changed the function name here. It is not necessary. In the program, they have not given the function name, so I have not changed it. So I am saving this particular program. I am trying to run. It is showing an invalid syntax error. So I have given double quotes there in order to correct this one. Say, let me remove this one, starting with A is equal to. I am just removing the particular part since I found the syntax error there. The number of lines starting with A is equal to 0. It means that I do not have any line starting with A. Whereas, let me check the text file itself. If I am trying to check with yes now, I will be having 2. Let me modify this particular code instead of A as yes. Instead of A as yes. Now let us check. I can able to get that particular, the number of lines starting with S is equal to 2. Let me reconfirm it. Especially tourism and hotel industry, students and teachers. These are the 2 lines starting with yes. So I have got the output correctly. So moving on to my next problem. Write a function in Python to display the lines starting with the alphabet, either C or S. You are asking, they are asking to display those lines starting with C or S in a text file to be displayed on the screen. Let me copy this particular question. So this is my 4th problem with respect to text file line based, starting with the alphabet. So let me save this one also. File name is text file problem 04. This is my 4th problem. So again, I am trying to display those lines. I am trying to display those lines. I am taking the 3rd problem. I am taking the 3rd problem as my hint. Why? Because there we have checked with yes. Here they are asking either it should start with C or yes. Now what modification is needed for the 4th program? Let us check. I'm copying the program here. Here count is not necessary. They want to display those lines starting with the particular characters. Starting with those characters, or line of 0 should be either yes or line of 0 should be equal to C. Here these things are not necessary. Instead, I want to print those lines on the screen. The user has to print those lines on the screen. Let me save this program. This is the only modification, 2 modifications. That is, I am trying to add a condition. The highlighted part alone is the change what I have made. Other things I have kept as it is. I am reading the entire content. I am trying to go row by row. I am checking for the 0th character. If the 0th character of a particular line is either S or C, I am printing it. So let me run this particular code. See, I am having 3 lines. This program had only 4 lines in total. That is the text file, not the program. The text file has only 4 lines, out of which 3 lines are starting either with the C or S. One line is starting with the C, the other 2 lines are starting with the S. See, the particular same output other than the line starting with the T has been displayed. Now let us move on to the 5th problem. Write a function in Python that copies the line other than the lines starting with C or S present in a particular text file. Except the lines that are starting with C or S, you are copying the other lines. I'm copying the question. This is what my 5th problem is. I am pasting the question there. Right? Yes, now we will move on to the program. I am supposed to open a file where the content is present. The content is present in the file, namely sample text.txt. Since I'm reading the file, I'm not using the mode which is not mandatory. The file handler normally uses R file. So here, a reader is equal to, what I'm trying to do now, the object reader is equal to R file dot read lines. You have read all the lines and the data is present in a reader. Let me have it as data rather than reader. Anything I can have. For line in data, you are going to traverse the entire data. If the starting character is not C or S. So how to do that one? If line of 0 double equal to S or line of 0 double equal to C. People will be thinking why I am using double equal to. See, better skip this one. You do have a word called as continue, which is a keyword. You are just skipping this particular part. Other than this S or C, what are you trying to do now? You are supposed to copy layer. I should have opened one more file. What is that one more file? With open, it should be copied sample layer. It should be copied sample text.txt. Here necessarily I have to mention the mode. Why? Because other than read, whatever operation I'm going to do on the file, I have to mention the file name without fail. I have to take care of the indentations. Now this comes inside the second file opening. Now let us write. What to write? Where the data is present. I'm going to write it on W file. W file refers to copied sample. What I am going to write, where the data is present, the data is present in line. Once this is done, I have to open this particular file named copied sample text where the content is present. Now let us run this particular program. It has not shown any error. We have to open the text file, namely copied sample text. This is what. Why only one line? Let us check the input file, namely sample text. Here I am having only 4 lines. The other 3 lines, either it starts with the C or it starts with S. So we are having the output as only one line that is starting other than C or S. Now we can confirm that this particular output is correct. Moving on to our next problem. Write a method to write multiple line of text contents into a text file. This is just writing only. You are trying to only write the contents. Where this is the problem number 6. I am pasting the question. So they are asking us to give a method. Write multiple lines. This is what I'm going to have it as my function name. What I'm going to do, I have to open a file for writing using with open command. Multiple line.txt. I have to mention the mode necessarily since I'm going to write. I'm using the file handler as W file. First of all, I have to get the input from the keyboard and then write it here. How to do this one? While true, right? I am trying to get the input. The identifier which I'm going to use is line input, enter a line. Once I have got the line, I have to write multiple line of text contents into a text file. This is what our question is. So once I have got the line, W file dot write, you are writing this line. Immediately you are trying to give a blank line so that when you are entering the next line, it comes in a new line. That is /n is for new line. All right. Once this is done, this is a continuous process. Why I am using while true? Till the condition is true, I will be using it. All right. See, if line okay, it's enough. If my input string is this one, okay, it's enough, then I will break. If the line contains this particular 3 words, okay, it's enough, put together, it will come out of this particular loop. Now let us save once again. Now let us run this program. There is a mistake there in the function call. Multiple lines. This is what the error is. Again, let me run it. It is asking for the line. Hi. How are you? I am fine. How about you? I am doing good. How are you passing the time? Haha. Now, if I feel this is enough, I give okay, it's enough. Once it sees this one, it comes out. So we have to open the file named multiple line.txt, where it is multiple line.txt. See here, these are the contents. I hope this part is clear. Thank you.